Matt, we're here on this Monday after an unfortunate loss, Colorado. How are we feeling? Let's just start there.
I'm hurt, dog. I'm hurt. Like it. I
feel it.
That one sucks. I mean, look, dog. Losing the Nebraska game, that sucked. But we won 3 or 4 in the rivalry. We don't play them again forever. And they kind of just jumped on us, and it was over at halftime. And we made a valiant effort in the second half and played hard, but that just wasn't our day. I walked out of there in the end of the third quarter with my boy, and I was like, look, we just got our ass whipped. We got to learn from this one. Mm-hmm. We didn't play well at all in this game, and we should have won. I'm not real big on I played the tune this morning on JB's show, but we should have fucking won, and that's fact. They played terrible.
Cool.
And everyone got hurt, and they played awful. And they went up 28-24 with 1:50 left or whatever, 2 minutes left. Shador played out of his mind, other than we're going to talk about what he didn't do well, but he played out of his mind again. He lost all of his receivers. Travis Hunter didn't play, and they played that poorly all over the field, and they lost by 3 to the number 18 ranked Kansas State Wildcats, who, this is why, folks, I was talking about them in such high regard. Now, some of their media members, I'm not talking about them in high regard. Did you see that show?
Yes, I saw that.
I don't tag my show. I don't know who the fuck that is, but Bailey, you should tag him. Should I be like, I don't run.
I loved your response. I loved your first response. You'll be okay.
So that was pretty funny, but the team and Coach Kleinman and just the history of that place, I knew the dogfight we were in. Yep. I knew it. This is a fucking dogfight, 1-score game. Joel picked it 21-20. Kansas State, I'm pretty sure I picked it 31-27 CU, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. But everybody knew the dogfight we were in.
Yeah.
And you can't blame it on one person. I just want to be real here. It's not one guy's fault. It's everyone's fault. Mm-hmm. It's my fault. It's Bailey's fault. It's y'all's fault. It's Buffalo Country's fault. It's Coach Brown's fault. It's Coach Lodeholt's fault. It's Coach Livingston's fault. It's Shador's fault. It's Shiloh's fault. Absolutely. It's Bucky's fault. It's everybody's fucking fault. Mm-hmm. So everyone stand shoulder to shoulder and take a big bite of this shit sandwich, because it's supposed to fucking hurt when you play that hard and that shitty, but also well at the same time. You overcome that much, and you're down 24-14 with 10 minutes left, and Shador pulls a fucking rabbit out of his hat again with negative 29 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. I'm not going to harp on this too much. I am going to talk about it, but I'm not going to harp on it.
Yeah.
Okay? Negative 29 yards rushing is the worst rushing performance in the history of Colorado football. So any of the prime sexuals or anybody, any coach, any media member, any Colorado fan, any prime sexual, anyone that wants to jump on my ass for bringing this up and saying we need to fix this, even though a lot of it was sacks. We're going to talk about why the rushing number was so bad.
We'll talk about it, yeah.
Sacks. Even with sacks, you should not be at negative 29 yards rushing. No one's going to just sit there and be like, oh, well, he got sacked 6 times. We also didn't run the ball worth shit, and they pounded us. Yeah. And we still, folks, lost by 3.
Yeah.
And had the lead. And I don't know what the defense was doing on the last series, but that looked like some JV shit. Hodge, dog, I don't play DB. I know it's hard, and I know we're in man coverage, but I've seen him make so many plays, and I've seen him give up a ton.
Yeah.
And they targeted him, and they went after him, and he blew the coverage. He didn't even try and make the tackle. It was very disappointing. Mm-hmm. I don't know why the DB and the safety are running into each other on the flare route to 31. That kid, by the way, what's his name?
Hell of a running back. Third Kansas State's running back. Hold on.
Gideon. I can't remember
what talking about.
Polk is what his name is. That dude is a fucking pro. Yeah. He is a stud, dog. And look, Kansas State Kansas State up front on O and D is who we want to be. So don't act like it's not true. That is the team that we aspire to be. If we want to be anybody in the Big 12, we want to be Kansas State up front on offense and defense. Super disciplined, tough as fuck, move bodies, rely on the run game to win. Can you imagine if Shador had that running game?
Yeah.
He would win a national fucking title.
Yeah.
If Shador had that running game with the skill players he has, we would win a fucking national title.
Yeah.
And look, it's not just because we don't have the hogs. We don't have the scheme. We don't run the ball the way Kansas State tries to run the ball.
That's true.
They don't try and run the ball. They line up and say, we're going vertical. We know you're college players.
Yeah.
And we're going to move you. We have the people that we have the number one player in the country at left tackle in Jordan Seaton.
Mm-hmm.
You can't move. I've seen them move people. The fact that we don't line up and try to do it is why we struggle in situations like this. Like, look, CU did everything humanly possible to win that game for as poorly as they played. And I know Coach Prime would agree with me. And anybody that doesn't, you're blind and you didn't watch. I'm speaking to you like I'm a coach there. I'm speaking to you like a coach because that's what I am. I was at the gym at 5 a.m. this morning coaching. I was at Vista this morning coaching. And now I'm sitting down talking about what I just saw from a coach's perspective. We cannot play like that and win. And I'm telling you, if they would have been on their game, we probably would have beat them by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't stop. Like, name them stopping us. They didn't stop us. We stopped us. Yeah. I don't know what is going on with Shador and his lack of confidence with stepping. I know that he's been sacked a lot. Mm-hmm. I know he's been hit a lot. But evading pressure backwards is like the first rule of quarterback play.
Yeah.
Period. And you can even see Coach Prime on the broadcast saying to him, step up into the pocket. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you they're telling him this.
Yeah.
When Shador doesn't have to do fucking everything, he can do anything. And right now he has to do everything. You lose 4 receivers and you go for negative 29 yards rushing. You don't support him at all. And he just has to, and he pulled it out of his ass again. He's such a fucking G. I don't even know what to think about it. And I'm super disappointed in how he played overall. The pick was bad, but he threw 3 touchdowns. The sacks were bad. But without him, we get beat 50-0.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what? I mean, what the fuck? Like, if the team can figure out how to support number 2. All right. We're going to talk about Travis in a minute, I'm sure. But when we can figure out how to support number 2, dog, we are going to be so fucking scary. You give us Kansas State's O-line and the way that they block. I don't even need the people. I just need the scheme, the way that they fucking practice running the football, the way that they preach running the fucking football, the way that they do it in practice, the way that they do it with their H-backs and tight ends, the way that they're constantly double teaming and going vertical, just feeding the back, knowing he's going to break, because that's what college football is, bro. You're not going to get a fucking NFL defense out there stopping the run. Mm-hmm. If you are creative in the run game in college, you can create fucking lanes running the football, for God's sakes. You can also stop it at times, but eventually you're going to break. I mean, UCF, we stopped the run against UCF, right? How many yards rushing did they go for overall? 180?
170, yeah.
70 yards, but that's stopping the run. 170 yards rushing in the NFL, people are like, wow, we fucking suck. In college, you're like, well, that's a pretty good day. They were going for 390 on the other teams. So that's my point. You can find rushing yards and support so your quarterback doesn't have to do everything. And I just imagine what the team could be if he didn't have to do everything. Now, I'm super impressed with the effort. I'm an effort guy, man. Yeah. I play effort. I teach effort. It's the only thing you can really care about. And I'm fucking hurt by this, dude.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Sucks. And anybody that wants to come at me negatively, man, fuck you, homie.
I don't get the negativity.
Just hold on. I bleed black and gold. All right. And that's a rival to me. I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about, but I played them 5 times in college for a division. Every year, if you didn't beat them, you didn't win. You didn't go to a bowl game. But if you beat them, you got a fucking ring. I know a division ring don't mean shit to y'all, but it means something to me.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm telling you, we're going to talk about all the specifics, players, and everything that happened. But if you didn't see the heart of that team with as awful as they played and everything we're going to talk about, if you didn't see the heart of that group with all the guys going down and the next guy stepping up, you have to see them respond and just keep playing hard even though they're getting beat on. The D-line just keep fucking rotating in, keep fighting, and just keep going. Defense made plays, dog. It wasn't pretty, but this is the kind of game we all knew. What, you think you're going to just walk in and beat the fuck out of Kansas State? Give me a break, homie.
We said this was going to be a war before. We said this on Friday and Thursday.
They couldn't stop our strength. We couldn't stop their strength. They had the ball last pretty much. I'm not even going to talk about the pass interference because I'm not putting it in the hands of the refs.
Yeah,
we didn't play well. That's why we lost. It's not because of one play at the end of the game. That is not going. No, fuck you with that shit.
I agree.
So let's get into this. I know we have a lot of NFL to talk about too.
Yep.
I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm off for the rest of the day, and I'm trying not to like be angry about this because I'm more sad about it than I am angry, dog. Like,
yeah, I understand. Yeah,
it's disappointing. It's really disappointing that number one that they lost. Obviously, that sucks. But the way that they lost is just gut-wrenching. And you know what? I'm going to say this real quick, and I hope everyone's listening. And I want you to vertical this. I remember talking to that team when they were fucking 0-6 or some shit, and Cal was coming into town. And Sanford had just got appointed coach, and he asked me to come talk to him. And Carl Durrell was always scared to let me talk to him. And I can't go talk to the team now because of whatever reason. And that's a fact. I'm not talking shit. I'm not calling anybody out. But that's fact. And I talked to him about locking the gates, and Bill Musgrave was the OC for Cal at the time. And I remember talking to him about recruiting, and there's two guys, Dungeon family, that are there right now, in Miller and Aiden Akia-Kayana, who's a big defensive lineman. And we have a good relationship with Cal, but Musgrave was the OC there at the time. And we were talking. He's like, yeah, we could probably get everybody on the plane in the game this weekend against CU. You guys are pretty terrible. And he's just talking to me like a coach and businessman, a guy who changes jobs every 4 years and doesn't really have an allegiance anymore. Played somewhere, but doesn't have an allegiance, right? And that's not me. I don't coach anywhere else. I'm coaching at Vista because my kid's on the team. I believe black and gold is the only place I ever wanted to play. So when I gave that speech to that team and they went out and played the way they did and won their only game and fucking won 20-13 in overtime, I know that doesn't mean anything to the prime sexuals and all the idiots, but to real Buffalo fans that were there that day or experienced that, it was real. Mm-hmm. Sanford will tell you it was one of the biggest wins he's ever had. And I'm not saying that it had anything to do with me, but I did start the fucking fire. Yeah. I started that fire in those men. And that team was atrocious. And I remember standing on the sideline getting blown out with my son and having fans walk up to me and say, Coach, why are you still supporting this? And I looked at him and said, because when it's good, dog, and it means something again, I'm not going to be the one that just jumps back on.
Yeah.
So this is bigger than just a game for me. That shit hurt. And I hope it hurt the men in that room the same way it hurt all of us. Because if they play well, their ceiling, bro, is so high. I can see it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Really I'm telling you want to sleep on this team or talk shit, you're fucking crazy, homie. I know Travis got hurt. I know you're going to say he can't play both ways. He'll come back and play both ways and win the Heisman.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that, yeah.
I know Mario Miller got hurt and broke his ankle. He'll come back twice as good next year for a 5-star quarterback that steps in to replace Shador. We're only looking at upside here, man. I'm proud of the way they played. They played with heart. Now they need to fucking learn how to finish.
Yeah, facts.
And you only learn how to finish by what? By failing. You only learn how to fucking do it by going through it. Mm-hmm. And they're going through it right now. And good. That's good. What the fuck are you going to learn about this? What are you going to learn from this?
Yeah, what do you take away? This is the title of the show is Colorado Must Learn.
That goes to everyone. What do you learn from the situation you find yourself in at the moment? You're 4-2. You've had a very successful start to the season. You learned from the Nebraska game and got better. What are you going to learn from Kansas State and get better? And that's really the fucking bottom line here, dog. And look, you can sugarcoat it any way you want. You can blame it on the refs. The best way to do this is to look at yourself in the mirror and take accountability as a man and say, I got to be fucking better. I have to take more attention to detail. Shador needs to be better. Shiloh needs to be better. Coach Prime needs to be better. Everybody's got to be better. Everyone, there's none of this finger pointing shit. None of this, no fucking feelings hurt. Everybody missed plays. Everybody missed blocks. Everybody got penalties. Everybody fucked up. Okay? And we got beat by 3, and we should have won by 4 goddamn touchdowns. It should have been a fucking display. And instead, it's dismay, and that sucks. Yeah. So, yeah, let's get into this shit, and I'll answer any questions you got. But, dog, fuck. That sucked.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. And
it was also awesome. It sucked, but it was fucking awesome. Like with the minute 50 left at midnight, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs.
Yeah.
Like
it's 2 in the morning out here.
Like, I can't fucking believe you were sick this week. What the fuck? Like, because we couldn't go. We had COVID. And like it was amazing. And then all of a sudden our heart was ripped out. And I was up till 3 in the morning just sitting there like, fuck. Went to bed all mad. My girl's like, are you coming to bed? And I'm like, maybe. I love you.
I feel
you don't want me in bed right now. Wrong.
Well, let's talk about some of these.
Victory, Matt. This is losing, Matt. Losing, Matt.
Dude, I totally feel that same fucking way. I am.
We had a fucking balls too. We didn't even play well. We went right by the balls. We didn't play well. We fucked it up.